And joining me now from North Carolina on this very, very tragic day is political commentator Shemeka Michelle. Shemeka, great to see you as always. Now, I'm still in shock over the death of Charlie Kirk. He was a conservative activist, a father, loving husband, a hero, more importantly, to many, many young people. Let me ask you, Shemeka, how did you react to the news of his assassination?
I think initially, Rowan, and thank you for having me on, it was shock. It took me, I believe, a couple of hours before I actually shed a tear because just the first few hours, initially I hadn't seen the video, so I just heard he had been shot in the neck. So I was really hopeful because I actually knew someone around here, a young lady who was shot in the neck years ago who survived. So my first thoughts were he could be okay. But then when I actually saw the video, things just became really grim for me. The hope faded, and we just kind of sat around and waited. And once we saw President Trump put out the statement, it was just sadness, just quiet. I think I sat here with no TV or not anything on for about 2 or 3 hours. And then that's when it hit me and the tears began to flow.
And Shemeka, we've seen all the lunatics that left celebrating his death, which is its own disgusting thing. But I want to ask you about the average American, the real Americans, the genuine Americans. What sort of impact it's having across the nation, in your opinion?
Of course, you do have the left, and I do feel like they are really taking over social media with foolishness. I've seen T-shirts that are very disrespectful, and there's no concern to his family, his wife, and his children. But for those of us who are actually decent people, most people are just really trying to celebrate his life, just really grabbing a hold to the things that Charlie believed in and just deciding that we're going to continue to fight. This will not scare us into hiding, and it won't shut us up. So most people, the sentiments are, we're going to continue to fight. And actually what it has done, it's radicalized some people who were on the left or voting Democrat, who just are saying this was evil and the celebration is too much. We're coming to the other side.
I mean, it's extraordinary, Shemeka, how he reached out to young people. I mean, it's possibly too early to say this, but there was almost analogies with Jesus Christ. He's been taken down, age only 33, killed, slain. So many people, so many young people had been brought to a better life through Charlie Kirk, whether it was finding themselves politically or religiously or just education and the way they approached life. What sort of long-term impact do you think America will take from the slaying of Charlie Kirk?
From my understanding, Charlie was 31. But I do think that he touched so many young people. I had a chance to speak to one this morning who's been working with Charlie since he was 14, and he is very active in political circles. I just really believe that this is just going to push people even harder. I don't think that Charlie has died in vain. And I just really believe we're going to see a great coming together eventually. People just rising up and realizing what's right and actually standing for that. Right now, people are comparing him to Martin Luther King. We haven't seen in my lifetime someone who on this level be assassinated. So I think for a lot of people, they just will continue Charlie's message, and he will go down in history as Martin Luther King Jr. But the difference, I think, is Charlie was just this very good, genuine person. People say that he was hateful, but it's really when you don't like the truth or the truth is uncomfortable, people label it with hate. But Charlie was very, very kind, never insulting in his debates, just really trying to have genuine dialogue. And it cost his life because some lunatic didn't like what he had to say.
And obviously Charlie was 31. Shemeka, another awful death, which actually Charlie Kirk commented on only a couple of days before his own death, a death that would change America, he said, and that was an awful, awful murder, slaying on a train of Irina, the Ukrainian refugee Irina Zarutska, very close to where you live, there in North Carolina. What was the impact of that death and the horrific circumstances surrounding it?
I think initially the impact was a lot of people were angry, and rightfully so, considering that this person was a repeat offender, had been in and out of jail, and there just seems to be a lot of controversy around it. The magistrate that let him out and just on a promise to appear, she owns or she's partners in a mental health facility, which it seems they may be benefiting from, allowing these criminals to not have to do jail time. So there's still a lot of conspiracy or a lot of controversy around the case. But I will say, once Charlie was killed on yesterday, people haven't been talking as much, but I am grateful that President Trump has said this case will be tried federally. So I do feel very confident that we don't have to worry about Charlotte, North Carolina, allowing him to walk free again.
Shemeka Michelle, it's great to chat to you. I'm sorry it was in such a tragic circumstances, two horrific deaths. But as you say, hopefully America will come out stronger and better. Shemeka Michelle, great to chat to you.